Yeah, I think again politically, wrestling, like even with sports markets, it's become something where I've seen lately, like just kind of we used to be able to have, and maybe it was never like this, Marcus. I'm just remembering it with rose colored glasses. But we used to be able to have the bar arguments. We used to be able to have the arguments up on the forums. We used to be able to have these discussions, and sometimes it would get a little too intense. But for the most part, it was just guys or girls just kind of going back and forth at each other. And now it feels like everything is so personal. Where like 20 years ago, Ray, you and me could be talking about wrestling. And you could be like, man, I like the Undertaker. And I'd be like, man, Undertaker, sorry, man. He's soft, man. You need to be looking at Kevin Nash on these streets. I don't know why those are the examples I went with. And we could have an argument about that. Now, Ray, you and me are talking, and I can say, like, man, I don't know why CM Punk went back to WWE, man. I don't think it's going to work. What? What did you say about Phil Brooks? Man, everything you like is trash. You're trash. Your mama trash. And it's like, all this came from a wrestling conversation?
Right. And it kind of reminds me, again, being a gamer is just like the console wars. Like, and like back in the day, like you said, back in the day, you could be like, I like Sega Genesis. That's cool. I like Super Nintendo. But now it's like, again, same example. Hey, I love the Xbox. I love the Game Pass. You love the Xbox. You some garbage. It's PlayStation only. PlayStation only. I'll burn your Xbox. Like what are we doing? And I think and I think that's a culture we live
Same
in
with
now.
like DC and Marvel. Brent knows too. Like back in the day, you could have comic arguments. Now it's like if you like the Marvels, you trash, or if you like Aquaman or Blue Beetle, like you're sorry. All those movies suck.
Yeah, and again, I think it's reflective of the culture nowadays, especially within the climate that we're living in nowadays. It's like, oh, there's no middle ground anymore. You're either all the way to the right or you're all the way to the left. No pun intended. But it's just like we can't have nuanced thoughts anymore.
I don't know what you're talking about, 10-Day Ray. It's always good to be right. Gotta have the smartest people available, Ray. You know what? I don't know why you're working for the Kings of Sport. They're not big enough. They're not huge. Come with me. You'll get a 100-day contract, Ray.
Thank you, sir. I don't want to be
NDA.
That's one place I don't want to be the affirmative action hire for. But yeah, it's just we can't. There's no room for nuanced thought anymore. It's absurd. It's just like we can disagree but still be civil with what we do, and it's kind of similar things that happen in the mixed martial arts space as well. It's like I can have civil conversations. Believe it or not, you can have civil conversations with people on X, on Twitter. About different things, and it doesn't have to blow up into, well, it's either this or you suck, or it's either this you're the greatest, or this and you might as well die alone in a like what is going on? It's just crazy. It's just crazy, like the times that we're living in now.
But the other thing I wanted to touch on with Brent and with everybody is when you kind of talk about solutions, right? Because I think, Marcus, is the solution to all of this just eventually 5 years from now, we're just going to have separate media platforms for people with different thought processes. Because I don't feel like there was a time maybe 10 years ago, Marcus, I think, when we were having one of those conversations about police brutality or voting rights or something or other, where I'm like, you can have a conversation with somebody, you could change their mind, educate them. I think individually you can, but it's like that Men in Black quote, like with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. He's like, a person can be smart, a person can be reasonable. People are dumb.
Yeah.
So do you think there's going to be a solution for this, Marcus, or is everything just going to fracture even more?
Honestly, I think it really depends what happens in this country in terms of, is there an event that has to, almost like 9/11. There was an event that brought the country together, no matter.
You would think COVID would have been that.
I was stunned that, well, boy, I think.
But that got politicized.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get fired.
Don't get fired. Jalen and Jacoby.
I think if.
Watch your mouth. Woo-hoo.
Was that Steamboat Willie?
If I'll put it this way, if COVID took place in 2012 or 2008, maybe that would have sort of brought people together instead of what ended up happening was it almost divided people, and you had two sides of camp or thinking of vaccine, no vaccine, mask, no mask.
I guess the question really, Mark, is this all Obama's fault? Because before Obama, there was some crazy people out there. But once Obama got in office, they got crazy.
I mean, I know you're joking halfway, but like
that was like the last straw for their villain origin story.
I was always, even though I think we all knew at the time in 2008 that Obama was projected to win. It took a lot for my brain to process the fact that he did win and he was going to win. Just knowing that what it took to get to that point, and for him to win and then win again, like that was,
yeah.
So you might be onto something.
I think Obama broke some folks' brains and they've never recovered from it.
Right.
What about you, Brent? Do you feel like there is going to be a way, Canada or America, for people to come back together, or are things just going to get more fractured?
The optimist in me feels that, to quote Whitney Houston, the children are our future.